Morning. So today I've got my list of things to do. So basically I'm going to be sanding those fillets down because I used the sawdust in there. It's quite a rough finish. So I've got some new assorted pieces of sandpaper. I've also got some more, I think there's 60 in here, new discs for my palm sander. So I could use the mechanical means if the old hand sanding is too difficult, takes too long. And once that sanding's all done, I'm then going to move on to fiberglassing the nesting bulkheads. So the plans call for 2 strips on either side, so one here, so 2 strips here, all the way across, and then up the sides, and then an extra additional 2 strips on the top 2/3 of the side panel, and then a further extra 2 strips on the top third. So that means this part here will have 6 layers, and they have to be slightly staggered so that they're not just sitting on top of each other. So that's going to be quite a lot of work to get that all glassed up. So if I can do that this morning, or this morning and this afternoon, I'll be quite happy. I'm going to leave that overnight to cure, and once that's cured, I'm going to take the wires out of the centre, out of the keel, and then I'm going to fillet the keel. And then all the filleting is pretty much done. Oh, there's a little bit more to do on the forward bulkhead. It's fine on the inside, but the outside it just ran a little bit because I didn't use the sawdust. So I just collected the sawdust while I was cutting the original pieces out. So there's some big pieces in there because I did actually sieve the sawdust to make sure it was all very fine. But even so, you probably can't see from there, but even so, this is quite a rough finish. It actually feels like a kind of 80 grit sandpaper, because I guess that's not far from what it is, but it doesn't run. So that is a big advantage. It doesn't run much at all. It holds its position once you put it in. So I wish I'd used that now on the forward bulkhead, because that's the place where it's run the most. So anyway, so that's it. I'm also going to try and cut out another bow knee, but just out of 1/4 inch ply. And the idea is I'm just going to make that existing bow knee a 1/4 inch higher. So instead of being 3/4 inch, it's going to be 1 inch. The main reason for that is just it means I don't have to sand away the gunnels where they come up, because if that is the bow knee there, the gunnels are currently coming up about half an inch higher, just at the very tip, and it's just the last 2.5 inches. They come up at quite a steep angle there, and I don't really want to have to sand all that down just to make it look neat. So I thought if I just put an extra bit of ply there, I can then sand the ply down, because that's a lot less sanding to do than sanding the gunnels, because there's quite a lot of sanding to do on those gunnels, and then it's going to make it quite thin at the front, which, is it going to weaken it? Maybe it is, yeah. It's going to just feel a little bit wrong, so this just feels like a nicer solution. So I'm just going to glue that on, really. It's not for any structural reason, just cosmetic, and to make it look all neat. So yeah, I need to glue that on, cut that and glue it on as well. So quite a lot to be getting on with, so better get started. Well, I hope that's the worst of it done. I just need to get in there now with the sandpaper and check with my hands for any rough patches, and then sweep up all the dust. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to get out of all this gear till it's done. Then I'll have a cup of tea.
Okay, so I glassed up the first nesting bulkhead. So it was a bit tricky, but I think it's acceptable. So I'll just show you how it looks. So Alan from B&B suggested laying out the two long strips, so like these two, and which I did on the plastic over there. And first of all, wet that one out, and then put the second one on top with the overlap of about an inch, so about like this, to make it 4 inches wide, and then wet that out as well, and then proceed to add the first 10-inch piece, and then the second 10-inch piece, and then finally 2 5-inch pieces, so they're all overlapping like this. And then once that's all done, make sure that the 2 longest pieces are down, so that you don't get any air bubbles around the joins, and then lay them from the centre line up to the gunnels. So that's what I've done here, as you can possibly see, hopefully see. The tricky thing is to actually get it to go into all of the corners and around all of the bends without any kind of air pockets, and I think that's probably as good as I'm going to get it. The things I'm not, where it seemed to be kind of hardest to get rid of the air pockets was in these kind of edges of these reinforcement pieces, where these reinforcing pads are on the nesting bulkheads. So as it goes round there, it's quite maybe I should have sanded it down a bit more. Not sure, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I'd use the brush and hit it down very hard, tapping it down. So I can see a few tiny little pockets of air, I think, but it's just impossible to get them out. So hopefully that's okay. So that one's done. So now it's on to the other one. So I've got all my fiberglass cut, and this is all cut here as well. So I just need to mix up another batch. But I think I'm going to have a rest first and chill, have a cup of tea. Right, that's it for now. More time lapse when I'm on the other side. Okay, so for the second half of this glassing, I've made some cuts in the tape, like my dad showed me when wallpapering. So this is the piece of tape that's going to go here, and so I've got a little cut there, which is going to just help it to go around that corner, and I've got a little diagonal cut there, and a little cut down on the corner as well. So that will just help it all to kind of sit. And when it's all glassed up, of course, that should all be fine. It just means that there'll be no, the tape doesn't actually span across those corners. So hopefully you'll see this happening as I glass that in place. And so the second piece has got smaller cuts because it's not going to go quite so far around the corner. So I've just cut those 2 pieces and those 2 for the port side. So I'll get on with that now.